Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and welcome to episode 2 of my From Zero Warframe Let's Play, where I just go for the game completely free to play and all that jazz, really cool fun stuff, kind of a pseudo beginner guide type thing. I just wanted to play Warframe from the beginning again because content's dry, and Warframe's a fun game. I enjoy playing it. But yeah, I said in the last episode that I didn't know when you unlock Nightwave, and apparently you get it after the prologue quests, so cool, we can now do Nightwave challenges. But there's a few things that I want to go over. Turn off region chat, because region chat sucks. There was one time that I went into it and a guy asked for help, and I was like, sure, invite me, and I got my message deleted and his message deleted by the mods because, you know, I wanted to help the guy kill the heck. So that is my official stance on region chat. Just stick to your clan chat, stick to recruiting chat, stick to trading chat, and you will be a-okay, because there's a lot of fuss revolving around recruiting chat, and I just don't use it anymore after that event because I thought that was ridiculous that I can't even, you know, ask a player to invite me in a chat because it encourages recruitment. So kind of insane. But yeah, Warframe. After you complete the prologue quest, you're forced to go to Cetus for the first time. This is the first ever player hub open world joint together, which is really, really cool. We're gonna see a cool intro cinematic. Just take this in. This is a moth, obviously. That's what it was intended to be. Remember moth memes? Those are cool. So that's exactly what this is, and you should forever see it like that because BS Pablo said so. So yeah, it's a moth. Can't fight me in that one. But yeah, this is the little the Ostron Cetus people. That's what they're called. That's what I call them, the Ostron Cetus people. Big chunk of meat, because everybody likes a big chunk of meat, right? And this guy looking at it like, yep, that's a good big chunk of meat. Yep, and he looks at his meat and he's like, yep, this is also a good big chunk of meat. Now let's, you know, get up with our spear and rub our neck, and then pan over to the kids who are role-playing as their favorite anime characters. Oh wait, that's a Warframe. Oh, and they're all dead. Rest in pieces. They're not actually dead, by the way, they're just playing pretend, for those of you who couldn't figure that out. But yeah, this is Cetus. It's a very, very small player hub, and it is home to the most overpowered set of melee weapons in the game. So keep that in mind whenever you're playing for the Warframe for the first time. So yeah. Except one of the parts for the most overpowered melee weapon is locked behind an event that only comes back every couple of months. So play Kripath, that's what you're looking for. It's a strike for a Zaw. Yeah, that's what you need. But you don't need it. You just want it. You don't need it. You just want it. Kind of like that SpongeBob episode where he says that he doesn't need water. He just, you know, needs it to, well, wants it to breathe, right? So we're going to go and talk to my favorite character within the Warframe universe right now, and I call him Baldy because, you know, he's bald. His name is Kanzu, and he likes going for early lunch. So you're going to click bounties, and you're going to choose the Prove Yourself bounty. We're going to walk up to this big fancy gate, and you're going to go for these big doors, and it's going to load a little bit, and you're going to be like, if you're playing Warframe for the first time, you're going to be like, wow, this game is free? No way, dude. What? Whoa, this is a big open world free roam area. No way, man. This is a free-to-play game? What's the catch? Do I have to pay to access all of it? But I was like, no, you don't, because this is actually really, really small for a Warframe player who's got an Arcwing, so yeah. But yeah, you gotta wait for the bounty to load up a little bit. So after Lotus stops talking for the bajillionth time, then you can continue playing the game. Okay, so here we go. We gotta head to the left of the big door. Now, if you were wise enough to choose Vault as your starter Warframe, you have an ability called Speed, which literally speeds your melee attack speed, real speed, and sprint speed up. It acts as a multiplier, so it's pretty powerful whenever you throw on power strength mods. Of course, we haven't got those on yet, so you can use it for a slight boost, but it's not going to be anything super significant. You can kind of use that as a DPS increase if you're using melee, I guess, but, you know, you should be one-shotting enemies here anyway, so That's a thing. It's gonna head. Oh, I completely missed. I was gonna say let's zap them all, but your boy iFlynn is super rusty, so let's see if we can get this guy out of here. There he is. Nice. Oh man, I missed. That's an Xmas enemy. You see how he was glowing a little bit, like a little red outline around him? That means he was an Xmas enemy, and they just have like aura effects which kind of debuff you, so that's a big feels bad, man. That's Twitch speak, by the way. You can watch me play this game on Twitch. I don't really stream it that consistently. I'm the most consistently inconsistent Warframe live streamer that there is, but I play good music in the background, so that makes up for it. So that's the selling point of my streams. Of course, you get to hear me blabber on as well, but oh, so now we're Xing this enemy. Holy shit. I didn't know those guys spawned that frequently here. So that's interesting. Might be worth keeping in mind whenever you gotta complete challenges to kill Xmas enemies. We can test that out, I guess. Well, I'll test it out at some point. No hit? I thought I hit him. Oh well. And I missed that guy too. Man, I'm bad. I was hitting those shots like a CSGO pro a second ago, but now I'm missing everything. Oh, he didn't get one shot. Damn you and your armor, man. That's a ship over there. Let me see. Not a bad guy? It is. I hit him? No? I'm not accounting for drop, am I? Maybe he's just out of range. I have a slash proc on me at the minute. That's not so good. Let's just go over here then, I guess. Hi, bad guy. You're dead now. There you go. First stage completed. Yeah, we did it. We got redirection. So, well, first bounty completed, sorry. Usually the bounties have stages where you complete one bit and then you move on to the next bit, and they'll have a minimum of 3 stages and then a maximum of, I think, 6. Can't remember off the top of my head. But you'll know when you get there. They have a little bit more rewarding rewards for a player who's newer to the game. So make sure to collect all the resources around here, guys. Like if you see something that's just like on the ground, like that thing that I just picked up, the radite, and you can break it and then pick it up, because you're gonna need a lot of those materials later on to craft those overpowered melee weapons that I was talking about. Of course, these overpowered melee weapons could eventually not be overpowered because Warframe is a forever evolving game. But I mean, it's still gonna be a-okay, right? Like, there's always gonna be a new thing which is, you know, meta or was meta and now is not meta. You get what I mean. Let's just go ahead and get out of Cetus because we don't need to be here anymore. There's no point sticking around there, and as much as you may be tempted to stick around and learn all about, you know, what's going down in Cetus and explore the big open world and stuff, it's just not worth it as a newer player, because you're just going to get melted by the enemies there because they have armor. The enemy levels are going to scale up, and as the enemy levels scale up, so that their armor, and then they get more difficult to kill. And of course they deal more damage, and then you just die. So what your task is as a newer player is to complete these junctions. So we are heading for the Venus Junction, and the Venus Junction is displayed here at the bottom of Earth. I know I say Earth funny. A lot of you guys like to laugh at me in the comment section. So we just want to complete these blue flashing nodes, which we only have to complete Lif. Well, we don't really have to complete it because we've already, you know, got it unlocked. But you got to do the blue flashing nodes, and you should be doing as many of these as possible to unlock, you know, the entire planet and the other nodes on it and whatnot. So then if anything important comes up and you need that node, that you can just go there, that type of thing. But the idea is to unlock these Venus Junctions by doing all of the challenges on them, right? So if we take a look, and they seem to have updated this a little bit from the last time that I looked at this, it says complete the junction path and all goals below to gain access to a new planet. So complete quest of War's Prize, activate new quests using the codex in your orbiter. So they've added a little bit of tutorial text there. Awesome, cool, should have been done ages ago, but besides the point. Collect 20 mods. Defeated enemies have a chance to drop mods, so just kill bad guys, pick up mods. I will show them to you in this video if we happen to come across them. Apply 4 mods to a single warframe or weapon. Visit the arsenal in your orbiter to install mods. upgrade any mod to rank 2 or higher through the fusion process. Use Endo to upgrade mods at the mod station in your orbiter. So it is an introduction to modding and upgrading your mods through the fusion process using the resource known as Endo, like we talked a little bit about in the last video. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna back out of here and we're gonna hop down to our arsenal. We're gonna go to our Warframe and we are going to go to the Naramon tab right here. So the little dash, this here thing is called a polarity, and if you match a polarity with the one on the mod and then one in the modding section, the space in the modding section, it's going to half the cost. So this mod right here, top right hand corner, the polarity is a dash, the cost is 2, your capacity in your Warframe, or the amount of I guess points you have is up here in the top left hand corner. So if I was to apply this to a blank spot, right, it consumes 2. I match the polarity, it consumes 1, right? So effectively halves it, which is really, really cool. We want to, of course, apply 4 of these mods onto our Warframe. So I want to go ahead and match the polarity, and I want to throw on continuity. And then let's go ahead and throw on our vitality mod. So we can't throw on 4 there because obviously we are out of capacity. Let's move on to our weapon, right? So we have Bane of Corpus and Bane of Grenier. We only have 3 again, and we have the Scanna. So we got our, we can't even throw these on. So we can't throw those on yet. So what we have to do is we have to level up our Warframes and our weapons just by playing missions, and by leveling those up, then we are going to get more capacity, right? So if you look, our Vault is rank 4. Up here in the top left hand corner, we have 4 capacity. Whenever we progress to rank 5, we are then going to have 5 capacity. Awesome, right? We don't want to upgrade our mods yet unless you're going to upgrade something that you're not going to be throwing on yet. So what I would do, I would upgrade redirection. Now you're going to get a lot of people who are more experienced in Warframe, and they're going to say that shields aren't so much worth it in Warframe, and they're talking more so about the later game. As a newer player, shields are okay. Of course, whenever you get better mods, then the first thing that you're going to change out on your Warframe is going to be shields, unless you're playing a frame like Hildrun, for example, or maybe Harrow. You could argue for that, which benefits from shields in some way, shape, or form. But shields in Warframe are generally frowned upon because they don't protect you from things like the damage over time procs, such as slash procs and toxin procs, which just go for your shields and affect your health directly, which is why health is favored 99% of the time, unless there's a certain gimmick with whatever Warframe that you're playing, which requires you to build shields. And then even at that point, I would say that the only frame that's worth throwing redirection on, from my experience, is Hildrun, and other frames you're better off just running vitality instead of, you know, redirection or any other mod that increases your shields, unless there is some other sort of gimmick or benefit that it applies later on with different mods that they add into the game at a later date, right? So that's my take on shields. But our goal is to obviously rank up our Warframe and our weapons, and we're going to do that just by playing, I guess. Now, another thing you can do is you can make it so that you gain more experience towards a weapon, right, if you unequip the other 2. Now, how that works is affinity or XP that you gain is going to be divided between the 3 weapons that you have equipped. So if you just go ahead and you unequip the Leto and you unequip the Scanna, then a lot of the excess affinity or just affinity in general is going to go towards your MK1 Paris, right? So you're going to get more XP towards that because you don't have a secondary and a melee weapon equipped, so it's just going to rank up a lot faster, and it's a lot more efficient to level up 1 weapon at a time instead of, you know, trying to level up all 3 weapons at a time, because, you know, you're just getting more XP towards it, right? So that's a big plus. You need to upgrade your Warframes and your weapons because you're going to have this like account rank, which we call mastery rank in Warframe. So if you go ahead and you pause the game and you take a look whenever I hover over my little icon right here, you see this little white bar, and it's just a little bit close to the end here. Now what we have to do is we have to upgrade our Warframes and our weapons from the first time. So the first time you ever get a Warframe or a weapon and you level it up from level 0 to level 30, you're going to get Master XP from that first initial level 0 to 30 push. Now, you cannot get Mastery XP or account rank XP from resetting the rank off your weapon or your Warframe by using what is known as Forma and then leveling it from 0 to 30 again. It's just the initial push from 0 to 30 for the first time with that certain piece of equipment, and you can't recraft it either, right? So that is really, really important to keep in mind. If you go ahead and you press show profile, you can see that your Next rank is Initiate, and you're going to get that in 230 or 324 Master XP, right? So you get 3,000 Master XP for weapons and 6,000 for Warframes, and there's other pieces of equipment which give varying pieces or varying amounts of Mastery points, which I probably cover it more in my beginner guide, and I probably have a video called What is Master Rank if you want to go ahead and check that out, and that'll explain more about this mechanic. In this type of video, we're just going to be glancing over it because, I mean, people are just here to see the overall progression in game and, you know, kind of what it is that we're doing. So I just like keeping you guys informed. We also have this thing over here. So this is our Nightwave cutscene. You know what? I'm going to let you guys experience that for yourself. So there's all these episodes out. If you jump into the game for the first time now and you come to this thing after you complete the prologue, and you're going to be greeted by those cutscenes. I've already seen them. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. If you skip past them like I did, you can press tune in the bottom right hand corner and see all the episodes. But to explain the mechanics of Nightwave, you have all these different challenges, and you complete these challenges, you're going to get Nightwave standing. So it's like a standing reputation grind that you have to do on a daily, weekly basis. And you're going to get this Nightwave standing, and every time you go up, you get 10,000 standing. You're going to progress through these different tiered rewards, right? So the first reward that we get whenever we get our first 10,000 standing is going to be the Saturn 6 sigil. Next one is going to be these glyph bundles, wolf credits. Use wolf credits to buy rewards from this Nightwave vendor. So if you go to credit offerings, you can buy things like aura mods, which are mods that have like an aura effect that affect everyone in your team. Cruiser projection and energy siphon are the ones that I would recommend to newer players to go everywhere to get. So there's that. You have your Orkin reactors and Orkin catalysts. Working reactors are used to double the mod capacity of your Warframe, and then working catalysts are used to double the mod capacity of weapons. It's permanent, so if you put it on whenever your weapon is level 2, it's going to double it to 4, and then whenever your weapon levels up to level 3, then it's going to double it to 6. So it just stays on, it's permanent. Doesn't matter if you forma, doesn't matter if you level it up. It only goes away if you get rid of that weapon that you put the working catalyst or reactor on, which are commonly referred to as potatoes. And then we have obviously our 19 extract, which is what we call alertium. It's a resource that you could only get from alerts previously, but you can now get from this vendor. You get 5 at a time for spending 15 credits, and then bobbin parts for the Warframe bobbin, bunch of skins, and a bunch of alternative helmets, cosmetics, whatnot. So yeah, that is a lot of information. My throat is beginning to get sore, but we're going to be keeping these challenges in mind as we're playing, but obviously we're not going to be able to complete everything because we're a newer player. So if you're a newer player, do not stress about these challenges, because honestly, as a player who has completed all this stuff, these rewards are not worth it unless you're a newer player and you need the forma. Okay, so Arcane Energize is great. These cosmetics are exclusive. Umbra forma, you don't need it all. Just completely ignore somebody who says that you need Umbra forma. You don't need it. Kuva is a nice to have. Wolf credits are what you need. Wolf credits and forma are going to be the most valuable things, and working catalysts and working reactors. Those are going to be the most valuable things in this right here. And then of course, the aura mods that I mentioned in the credits offering menu. So crisp projection, energy siphon. Those things are what you need to be worrying about getting. You don't necessarily need to be worrying because there's other ways to get them. But if you can, nice to have, pick them up. Great if you can, don't worry if you don't, type of thing. So it's a cool system, but it's not necessary to pay attention to 100% of the time. Just keep it in mind if you can, right? Let's go ahead and back out of that and continue progressing. All we want to do is complete as many of these nodes as we can. I'm going to go ahead and do this mobile defense because, I mean, why not? We're going to have to do these to progress to Mars anyway. So complete as many blue nodes as you can. Don't worry too much if there is nodes that you legitimately just can't beat because either you need more players or you need stronger equipment. Just complete as many as you can. Play the game at your own pace. Don't worry too much about, you know, what mastery you are at what planet. Just, you know, look up equipment which you think or which other players think you should get as a newer player. Keep that advice in mind, and you know, just experience the game for yourself, dude, because that's the best way to play this, honestly, because there's a lot of content in this game. Not a lot of it is sort of engaging, I want to say. There's a lot of engaging content in this game, don't get me wrong, but a large majority of it is just kind of, you get what you want to get, and then, you know, try out the kit that you wanted to get in a defense mission or a survival mission, see how far you can go and see how much you can get rewarded for it, and then maybe take a break, come back and do the same thing. Maybe there's an update. You know, there's some story quests in this game as well, which are pretty well done, and whenever you play those, you're gonna be hooked and you're gonna want more. But you know, not every single thing in this game is, oh my god, amazing, I have to have it right now, right? So just play the game at your own pace, get the things that you want to get. If you want to take it a little bit more seriously, just ask casually in Warframe streamers' streams or on YouTube videos or Reddits or Discords or whatever, you know, like what would be a good build for whatever frame, whatever weapon it is that you're using, and then try your best to get that. That is definitely how I experienced Warframe for the first time. I always used to play Necros because Necros was needed in, you know, the big long endurance runs, which were really, really rewarding at the time. So I played Necros, and I just went out of my way to look up builds for Necros and, you know, certain weapons that I knew were good because I seen a lot of people using them while I was playing, right? So definitely play publicly as well. You know, try to make friends, try to get yourself into a clan as early as possible too. Just chat with people. A big part of Warframe is the social experience as well. You're gonna make a lot of friends. What I would say is don't really pay any attention to people who straight up say that you're playing this game wrong, unless like you're really disregarding something really serious on a Warframe or weapon builds. You know, there's no real wrong way to play this game, so to speak. There's a lot of different variant builds and whatnot, and as long as you do just a little bit of research, a little bit of reading, a little bit of playing around with the Warframes and the weapons and whatnot, you should be good to go. You should have a general idea of what it is that you need to be doing to make that thing that you happen to be using effective. So don't pay any attention to any toxic people that you may or may not find, because generally Warframe has a very, very nice community, but there is a few rotten apples out there who are like, well, your build sucks or you shouldn't be doing this right now. You know, it's an experience that you gotta really discover, you know, how you want to play, I guess you could say, and ignore everybody else. What works for you, you know? So that's the idea. You don't necessarily have to be doing the most efficient thing at all times. Just play the game and have fun with it, and that's the best way to play Warframe, at least in my opinion. Of course, there's going to be frustrating things like maybe farming something for the first time. You know, you're really trying to get your first prime Warframe and the parts just aren't dropping, so you're like, man, I want to do this really efficient, you know? Can I see a guide for farming this thing really efficiently, or using this frame to do this really efficiently? And, you know, that's cool and everything, but if you play the game like that, it's going to get really, really monotonous, and you're probably just going to burn yourself out on it and get really, really bored. So take your time with it. Play the game how you want to play it, you know? Sort of train your aim and pull off some really sick shots. Maybe invest time into Captura or something. Captura is your what's it called? Your fancy fashion mode where you can take pretty pictures of, you know, your Warframe and all that jazz. But yeah, that's a thing. But I think once we get to the exit, we're gonna call this a video. And yeah, so there's one of our Nightwave challenges. Getting a little bit of progression there. So we got to complete 3 mobile defense missions. I can knock that out of the park in this episode or next episode or whatnot. So I'll do it next episode because this is 23 minutes long. So yeah, that has been my, I guess, quick advice. Oh look, we got a login. So this is your login screen, by the way. Whenever you log in, you get rewards based on how much you play. The more you play, the more you're gonna get rewarded and whatnot. So yeah, we have a master rank test. I'll talk about that in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.